Welcome back to another Kakuriyo, no, Yadomeshi review. Today is episode 9. I'm Justin.
What is up? I'm Logan.
And together we're Couch Talk. As always, we're anime viewers only, no source material. We're going to discuss the episode and give our scores at the end. Are you ready to jump into this?
Let's do it.
Alright, I just want to say, I think today was by far the silliest episode of this season.
I can.
I don't mean that like in a positive way. It's just like, first of all, we get a little recap of the past in the beginning, and we get to see a little more of her with the Ayakashi again. Doesn't provide anything besides a line that the ogre god uses again when he comes and saves her. But before we get to that, alright, she's in this, I guess, a storage room, right? She wakes up, she's like, why am I cold? Is it because of the rain? It's like, no, probably because you're in a flooded fucking room and half your body's in the water. And then she's like, oh, is it a fridge or like a freezer room? It's like, still irrelevant because you're drenched in water.
The thing that...
Not only that, this is the worst storage unit I've ever seen. First of all, they chalk it down. What did she say? Oh, maybe it's failing the cooling system or whatever. It's like, that has zero relevance because apparently the storage can just be filled up with water from the rain. What can you store in there that doesn't get fucking ruined every time it rains? That's my big takeaway from this episode.
This whole drama thing, like the whole, like it's, to me, it's, I don't know, it feels pointless. It's like, oh, last episode she got captured to literally be saved in 2 minutes this episode.
Yes.
Like, why?
She was about to drown because, the storage room apparently has... It's just the worst storage unit in the existence of storage units.
It just feels like they're trying to force the ogre and her, right? Because, for example, she's like, oh, it's cold here. Oh, wow, the one device that he gave me happens to warm me up. Wow, how convenient that it's used in this one specific incident where I just got captured. Also, he comes to save her. Wow, what a coincidence that this one device that he gave me also is a locator. Wow, that's very convenient. It's just... It kind of
obviously that was going to happen. You knew it as soon as he gave it to her. But you don't need to use it literally within 10 minutes of him giving it to her.
And, like, don't make it feel so, like, forced and obvious. It's like last episode gets captured. This episode, she's saved. She's about to drown. JK, she's saved. And that's it.
Yeah, it is. Like, this is like, the whole reason of it is like, make her realize that the ogre god uses the exact same line that the Ayakashi used when she was saved, right? But then at the same time, it's the episode's like, or could it have been Genji? Because he starts describing the exact same situation before and he cuts himself off. Like, he's been there. And it's like,
I don't get the... Why is it making this such a mystery? That's what I don't understand. Why? Because it saved her?
It's like...
Is that it?
I don't know, make you be like, who saved her? Is it Genji or Ogre God? I want it to be the Ogre God. I hope it's not Genji, or I hope it was Genji and not the Ogre God.
I mean, it wouldn't even really matter to me.
It doesn't.
It's just annoying that they're keeping it a secret and like rubbing in, like, oh, what? He said the same line. Oh, but he also said something simple. It's like, stop. Just tell me.
Exactly.
The more you like wave it in front of my face, the less I care.
I was say, and then after she said, we find out the people behind it. It was the banana people again. These guys probably should have been executed at this point, I guess, by now. But they attempted to murder the ogre god's bride. Execution. That's what I'm calling for.
Bring out
obviously, it wasn't just them, as Genji talks with the ogre god later in, that somebody else has to be involved for some, we gotta have conflict at all times.
That's what...
And then allies, it's like, I need the chief chef to not quit just so I can have his full course meal. And the ogre god's like, that's right. For your harsh punishment, that's right, harsh. You're going to be cooking for the rest of your life here. Wasn't he already fucking doing that?
Yes. Why do this show really values food to like the high. This show like shows food like people eat once a year, and it's a like food is the greatest thing ever. She's like, you tried the your minion or not minions.
Like
Your
I
servant
would get
tried to
it if
kill
they
me, but I want to.
focused more on the food part and eatery portion than the other things, because like obviously food is a big thing for people in certain like shows, but they do it focused around the food, right? So like
Right,
Shokugeki no Sama, they focus on the food. Gordon Ramsay, he focuses on the food.
right.
All
You
of
know
them.
what's actually super ironic? We kind of mentioned I mentioned this to you before, but this show's about food. But the scenes they showed her preparing the food weren't even animated.
That
They
is
were literally pictures with sound effects behind them. Are you serious?
so yeah. If you anyway, if you for the timestamps of like 12:10 to like 12:40, if you just go back and watch that portion, you'll just see her. You won't see her doing it, but you'll see the food on the table. You'll hear the chopping sounds, but the knife is just stationary. Her hand's just sitting there. It goes the only thing that's semi animated is the bacon sizzling, but that's because there's steam. It's not actually sizzling really.
It's just
It's like
so
there's no animation of the chopping, the preparing of the food. Um,
it's so weird. This is where like the show just lacks, I feel like, direction. Like, does it want to be like this conflict mystery with the who's the one who saved her, who are these people after, or does it want to focus on the food? How it talks about literally every character is like, oh my god, I love food. Oh my god, I love your food. I love tasting your food. Oh, your workers tried to kill me. Well, I want to eat your food.
and
Kind of
now I
irrelevant.
don't know what like the time frame is. All right, because when the Ritsuko and Noinan show up, the royal family or whatever. First of all, do humans last longer in this realm, or do they age slower here or not? Because Ritsuko says, "Oh, it has mayonnaise. I haven't seen this since the wartime. Like the last war you guys were in was probably World War II, right? So what?
Right.
But what time frame is this? Like they've never. Is she is Alloy present day like with us? Because
That
if
would
so,
make
Ritsuko's like 90 years old, right? Is
May
this
oh,
like Meiji era, like back in the 1800s? Like,
well, no, she has. They had cars, right? Didn't she go to the?
yeah, I'm pretty sure. So
Maybe it's like the
right after World War
'60s.
II or
Yeah, like the
something.
or like the '80s, and the woman's like 54 or whatever. I don't know, dude. I don't know. It was just an excuse to hype up this mayonnaise.
I was like, what are you saying? Well, I was like, why did she say it from the wartime? I was like, what the hell?
What wartime? Like,
It was like, what time frame are we in? Because you guys haven't done anything really since you've been demilitarized. So it's like, whatever it takes. Um, and then we get the new mystery of Oria Ya, because all their names end with Ya. Well, it doesn't end with Ya. I think it's just an
yeah.
actual like thing you say at the end. I don't know. Um, who's a redhead, I guess, like a few others. And that's all we got. It was like the master and Genji just thought, oh, it could be him, or he's
Ooh.
suspicious, and that was it. Um, and then the blonde Zashiki Arashis are super rare. Genji says, so I guess more of that's involved. But that's mostly the episode. There's not. This is really.
Yeah.
It was a really silly episode.
Yeah. Not much got really accomplished. I mean, I guess she finally cooked for. Now I don't know. You just jump into scores
Yeah,
before
sure,
my
sure.
mind melts.
Sure, man. We'll jump into scores.
Um, I'll give it like a 4.
That's exactly how I'm feeling for.
Like I mentioned earlier, I felt the conflict at the beginning was just forced for no reason, which most conflict in the show is. Like I also don't understand like what is this show like? What's it revolving around? Is it the food? Is it this mystery behind who's behind the mask? Is it this mystery of who's trying to get her? Suddenly, this episode, Shiro wasn't even really. Shiro was mentioned once, like, "Oh, you're just like your grandpa," as we say
Yeah,
every fucking
the chief
episode.
chef said it. That's
Yeah,
it. He's
we say that every episode, but just in case you forgot, this episode felt like he was forgotten about. So, like, I'm not sure what what are the important pieces of the show. I'm still like, I usually don't harp on animation really, but the fact that it was literally a slideshow for 30 seconds with sound effects is just hilarious and baffling at the same time. Especially a show where you're like hyping up how people appreciate food. You could even show one
like,
scene of her
I like
preparing
how you
food.
told me about it. I was like, wait, what? When did this happen? Because that's how little was paying attention. Like some parts of this episode, like it was just, whew.
Yeah, the episode just it was just didn't really. It feels like it's losing me the
Oh
more it
no,
goes on.
it's starting to lose me. I think I told someone last week. I was like, I'm probably like a few episodes out from dropping it. And this
Yeah,
episode did not really help me feel the other way about it. Like I'm gonna give it a 4 as well. Like I said, it was just the silliest damn episode I've seen of this season. Like normally, like hey, there's some good parts in there, but this episode didn't really have any like good parts. It's just hey, someone can use spells really well because I'm paralyzed and I'm Genji and I must be a powerful level wizard or something. Who knows? Nobody could paralyze me in this world.
a
Because
powerful.
yeah, we're just throwing in all this wizardry stuff now,
Yeah,
which we haven't really focused on too much at all. Because
that's
again,
what
they
like
don't focus on anything actually in the show. And this episode really, because now it's like, do they care about Shiro? Because they only mention him once. Normally, it's like we're getting full stories about Shiro episode to episode, and this time they're just like, no, we're done with Shiro stories. So I guess
now we're
maybe
moving on
cross
to
Shiro's importance off the list. I don't
we're
know.
moving on to murder mysteries.
Yeah. We got the banana people striking again for some weird reason, as if they didn't learn their lesson the first time. Unless they were also mind controlled by the super rare blonde chick. Um, who knows? That's how I leave it as like this episode 4. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't. Next episode better be bring something.
Yeah,
Which
exactly. It's just
I'm not getting my hopes up.
DMD. All right.
Anyway,
I think this is all right. We got harsh this time around. It
we
was
did get a
deserved.
bit harsh,
It was
but
deserved.
it was deserved. You know what else? You know what? Just spiel it.
All right. If you don't want us to give you a harsh review, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified every time we upload. Comment down below. Let us know what you thought of the episode, what you did, didn't like, what you'd score it, anything like that. Just no spoilers. We are anime viewers only. I'm not sure if I care too much about that, but stream over on twitch.tv. Links in the description below. And until next time, peace out.
See ya.